Hey there, my fellow bounty hunters, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of RobaFett, and today we are going to be talking about the latest depressing chapter in what is known as Hello Games, aka No Man's Sky, the craziest game probably ever launched, and not for good reasons. One of the most overhyped games ever launched, and trust me, I was overhyping it. I was just so excited for the possibilities. I was chomping at the bit for this game. It's because of people like me that got way too excited about it that, you know, I think a lot of problems happened with it. But anyway, so what's the latest news? What's the latest stuff going on with No Man's Sky? Well, I mean, not really anything, actually. And that's the problem. We haven't heard... Now, nobody's really heard anything from them for a long time. And then they broke their silence with that crazy, weird day where they had the Twitter rants where they were saying No Man's Sky is a mistake, supposedly tweeted by Sean Murray and then retracted later, and then we got hacked and blah blah blah, pointing fingers. And now the latest news is that people are leaving Hello Games. Yeah, there's small staff of how many people was it, 16 or people or whatever. Well, people are walking out, people are leaving, and there was a very depressing photo showed of Hello Games on NeoGAF. I'll put that up if I can. Of a very depressing and pretty much looking abandoned Hello Games studios there. And yeah, you know, I can't say I'm surprised. Honestly, I didn't expect this to go anywhere. I feel like anybody who worked on this game is pretty much just shot themselves in the foot with the way they handled it. They didn't come out. Sean Murray didn't talk to people. We almost heard nothing after the game launched. It's almost like they knew that they were screwing people over and they were okay with it. And I do want to say, for the record, I don't think No Man's Sky is a terrible game at all. It breaks a lot of boundaries. It's gonna lay the line work for really great games in the future. But, you know, it's like Ian Malcolm said in Jurassic Park. You kept standing on the shoulders of geniuses, and you kept hammering away at it and trying to create something until you had. And then once you had it, well, you did the fastest thing you could. You stuck it in a package. I'm paraphrasing terribly, but you know what I'm saying. They did it as quickly as they could. They figured out that they could procedurally generate a universe. They did it. They broke through, and then they're like, we got to make a game out of this. They made the game. I know that there was a lot of stuff Sean Murray wanted to do. Time constraints and probably the small staff he had prohibited that. The biggest thing that's the problem, the biggest two things that are the problem is, one, the false advertising behind the game. There's so much stuff shown that's not in the game. So freaking much. I still have yet to see a freaking brontosaurus. Where are they? They said there was gonna be one in this game, but there's not. There's so much stuff. Sky freaking monsters flying around, trading, you know, seeing like the economy system, having the sun rotate around the planets. I even have a fact video up about No Man's Sky, and guess what? A couple of them aren't even true because they lied to me. They lied about it. They lied, and so that's the first thing that's the worst. The second thing is the price. They got greedy and they said, you know what? We are gonna go and we are gonna charge $60 for this game. The biggest problem with that, you know what? I think everybody would be okay with it if it had been a $20, I mean, maybe even $30 game, but $60? You're putting it up against titles that are out now. You're putting it up against Battlefield 1. You're putting it up against Titanfall 2. And guess what? It falls short every time. It's gonna fall short because it's not those games. It doesn't have the same amount of work put into it. It doesn't have the same polishing. It doesn't have nearly as much to do. No Man's Sky can be a fun game for what it is, but when you put a $60 price tag on it, that is the biggest misgiving. That and the lying is really what took this game out. And then it might have even been okay if they had just come out and said, hey everybody, you know, we're sorry, you know, we're gonna get things fixed. There's a lot of stuff that we wanted to put in the game, and that's what I kind of meant. You know, there's a lot of stuff I wanted to put into the game, and a lot of stuff that wasn't gonna make it in the game, like multiplayer, even though I said that it was gonna be coming out, even though it didn't. And I kept alluding to the fact that multiplayer, that's probably the third misgiving, the illusion of multiplayer that was given. But you know, just coming out and actually working hard for all the people that paid $60, not charging them anymore because you've already charged them enough, giving them some DLC, giving them something, keep putting out content for the game. That's what real game companies do. That's what Rockstar Games does. That's what Bethesda does. They put out content for you to enjoy the game. How old is freaking GTA 5? And it's still going because they still keep making content for it. They keep putting it out there. And guess what? With GTA 5, most of the time you don't have to pay for it. You don't. Because that's what real game companies do. They make an awesome game and they make it last for a while. They make people want to keep playing it. They want you to feel like the next time they give you a product, you're gonna want to get it as soon as it comes out. And with Hello Games, I don't think they're gonna make another game as Hello Games. They'll probably all break off. I've read that one of the members has actually broken off. Apparently, Hello Games designer Garth Bourne has signed on. He's left Hello Games and he's signed on to another game, Star Citizen, which actually also isn't looking that great. It's still in its early stages of development and all that good stuff. But and that could also be a disaster. Who knows? Basically, now they're leaving. They haven't talked to anybody besides the fact that they supposedly got hacked. Either that or Sean Murray went crazy, which I'm sure is what really happened. Hello Games was a mistake. What has my life become? Oh God. And the big question is No Man's Sky doomed? It's been for a while. That's just, from the way they handled it, it just has been for a while. Will they get new content coming out for the game? No. In my honest opinion, no. The game's over. If it's one of those relaxing games for you where you want to go play it as it is and enjoy it for that sake, then go do that. But as far as hoping that there's going to be new stuff coming out, I don't see it happening. It's not going to happen. They've given up on the game. They've given up on themselves. And it's just so depressing, and hopefully this serves as a template for the future of what not to do. This is how you don't handle a game. And shame on Sony for throwing, you know, Hello Games under the bus. They need to take just as much responsibility. They're the ones that hyped up the game. They're the ones that were sending Sean Murray to places to talk about the game. They weren't regulating anything he was saying at all. He was an unproven developer, and he was allowed to say whatever the freak he wanted to say. So you know what? Shame on them too, but hopefully this is a lesson to Sony, Microsoft, everybody. You know, Rockstar, like anybody, any developers out there, this is not how you handle a game, especially if you're an upstart. Be extremely careful what you say and what you allude to, and make sure what you're saying actually is in the game or is going to be in the game. And if it is going to be in the game, specify on that. Don't just make people assume that as soon as the game launches, you're going to be able to do stuff that you're not going to be able to do. But anyway, guys, I want to know, what do you think about this overall? Because this is going to be, and I promise, the last video, unless something really crazy happens, the last video I'm going to do talking about No Man's Sky ever again. I'm done. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I just thought that this story would be interesting, and then I could also talk about the Twitter stuff that happened about a month ago or however long ago that was. But anyway, guys, yeah, so just let me know. Hit me up in the comments section below. What do you know? What's going on? You know, if there's just something going on with you and you want to talk about that, that's fine too. Whatever you guys want to say down there, go for it. And if you guys liked the video today, well, you know what you can do? You can hit that like button. That's pretty much what you do when you like a video. And if you guys are new here, if you're returning, or just whatever the case might be, don't forget to blast that subscribe button. And as always, guys, stay awesome, stay beautiful, keep those Punisher hats on, and I'll see you later.